GitHub Copilot is now going to be available for free. And in this video, we are going to see how to integrate it and how to use it. So let's go to their plan and pricing. So now you can see if you want to use the GitHub Copilot, there is another plan is going to be available and which is going to be totally free. So in this free plan, there is going to be certain limitation. That limitation is highlighted over here. It includes 2000 completion and 50 chat requests per month. So you are under this plan, then you cannot have chat requests more than 50. And you do not have completion requests more than 2000 in a month, which is quite good to get started with this. So let's see like how we can do it. So you need to have this Visual Studio Code in your system. We can click on get started, or you can also click on open now. So let's go to get started, and it will give you this kind of chat. Here you can go ahead and ask your question, but the better way would be to integrate it with your Visual Studio Code. So we are going to just click on this Visual Studio Code, and once you see Visual Studio Code, it's going to ask you to install this particular extension, which is going to be GitHub Copilot. So you can either install it from here, or we can directly open Visual Studio Code. We can go to extension and then we can install GitHub Copilot. So here you do have the GitHub Copilot. You can just go ahead and install it. And now as soon as you install GitHub Copilot, you are going to get this particular icon. It means the GitHub Copilot has been installed into your system. So as soon as you click on this icon, it's going to give you all these options. I'm just going to click on this GitHub Copilot chat. And if you haven't logged in into your GitHub, then it may ask you to log in to GitHub first. I have already logged in using GitHub profile, so it's not going to ask me anything. But yeah, you can also sign in from here. You won't be able to see this particular option. You may get an option where it may ask you to get started with free, or it may ask you to sign in with your GitHub account. So now because this is installed, so let's try it out. So you can see like from here, you do have two models. You can go ahead with the GPT-4o, or you can go ahead with the Claude 3.5 Sonnet preview model. You can choose any of the model from here, and let's use it to write some code. So I will just go to my Explorer, and here I will just create one folder. So I will click on folder, and I will say Copilot demo, and I will just select this folder. So I do have Copilot over here. I can still click on this. I can go to chat. So it will be enabled under this particular folder. What I'm going to ask in this particular video, we do have this OMDB API side where you can pass your any of the movie or series details and you can get the response from this particular API. I'm just going to ask Copilot to write a code so that like we are able to call this API and get the response out of it. First thing what I'm going to do is create one file. I'm just going to call it demo.py, and now you can see as soon as I have created this file, it's giving this option where it's saying okay, ask GitHub Copilot to do something. And here you can also see like it has now highlighted this demo.py, and this is the current file which GitHub Copilot has been watching. From the model perspective, I'm using this Claude 3.5 Sonnet preview. What I'm going to ask over here, write a code to fetch movie details from OMDB API by passing movie name as an input. Okay, so let's see what it comes up with. First thing what it's saying here is a proposed directory structure for Python API, and it's giving me a lot of things. So what I would do, I would probably just go ahead and click on this create workspace, select as parent folder, and let's go to this particular workspace. And as you can see, like it has created everything. So it has set up an environment file, and it's asking me to provide my key over here. And after that, it has written one main function. Here I just need to pass a movie name, and this is going to give me a detail about movie, and this is calling this fetch movie details method. And this fetch movie details method is coming from api.omdb. So I will go to this OMDB. It's taking the API key from the environment file, and then it has also written a method to call this particular endpoint. So everything is looking good. And here requirement.txt, it has just mentioned like which particular package we have to install to. I guess this file is not needed. I can just go ahead and delete it. And in this test one, I could see like it has given a certain hierarchy, like how this is going to look like. It has written all the code. Now let me just ask like how to run this file. Now it's saying like we can run it using go to terminal, run active file in active terminal, which is true. So before we can execute this code, I need to pass API key. So let me just save it. So now let me try to test this code out. So let me run this code, and here it is asking me to pass the movie name. So let me pass a movie name, Blade Runner, and we have got like movie not found. Let me just try it out once more. This time I will pass it under quotes. I'm not able to get the response from API. How to debug it? Now you can see like it has written additional code and add the proper error handling so that like we can debug this code. And what we can do here, you could see there are several options. One is like we can just take this code directly and apply it in our Visual Studio. So here we do have option like apply in editor. So let me just go ahead and try to apply this code directly. I just said like apply code, and here it's applying code block using GitHub Copilot chat, and it has updated my code now. We just save this and then we will try to rerun this code once more. And what I got to know, OMDB API key not found in .env file. So we do have issue in this case. So let me go to the environment file. And that's the problem, because here it's looking for OMDB API key, whereas in the environment file we do have API key only. So it was not able to give me a response. So I have just added it over here. And then I can go to main again and I can just try to rerun it. Again, I can pass the same movie, and this time I'm able to get a response. You can see movie name, then the API URL, and then we are also getting a status code. So we were able to debug it using Copilot chat, and we don't have to write a single piece of line over here. What I can ask, like now it's looking into omdb.py file, I can just ask is to the code is working as expected, and you can remove all the debugging code to make it production ready. Again, like it has just removed all the debugging statements from here, and I can just go ahead and click on this apply in editor, and now it has started applying the code. Code has been updated, so we are good to go. So in this case, as you have seen, we haven't written a single piece of code and everything has been driven by Copilot chat. Now one more thing what you can try is Copilot edits. So you could see an icon over here, you can click on Copilot edit, and this would help you to edit multiple files. So here I can add few more files, so I can just ask main.py also. If you have few more files, then you can also add it. And what I can do now, like I can ask to add comments into all these files at once using this Copilot edit. So let me just ask add function and variable description as comments wherever possible, and here I can just select Claude 3.5 Sonnet and I can just set it. Now you could see like it's saying I will add descriptive comments to both Python file to improve code documentation. Here is the solution. And you could see it has started working on the omdb.py file, and could see what exactly it has removed and what exactly it has added. So here it is stating, okay, it has done the 19 insertions and 4 deletions, whereas in main.py file it has added 5 lines. So let's go to main.py, and here you could see like it has added all these lines. This is how actually you can enable GitHub Copilot for free in your Visual Studio, and you can leverage it. It is coming with a lot of features that we can use it, and this would boost your productivity and you have to spend less time to write your code. That's all what we have in this video. Thank you for watching.